Having a child with ADHD is like climbing a mountain that doesn't have a summit. You never, ever get to the top. You have one choice. That's to fall in love with climbing.
There may often be a view that because students are disorganized, they can't find the coat, they don't know where the backpack is. I did my homework, it's not in my backpack. That whole situation that you're all very familiar with may feel to you as parents as though it is an intentional situation, that they are completely unaware of how those challenges affect you, affect the family, affect their teachers, affect their performance in school. When in fact, working with students over these many years, I see the distress it causes students because they know. They know they can't find it. They know they did it and don't know where it is. They know they should have had those things turned in. They know they should have communicated with you about an important event and didn't. They do understand that they're struggling and they benefit from your patience and support.
And there's one thing that has you sitting here. It's a commitment to your child or the children that you work with. That commitment means that you are a change agent. Parents and teachers are the primary change agents. Whose behavior has to change? The child's behavior? No. The parent behavior and the teacher behavior has to change. You can't count on a child behavior changing, but you can count on that when a teacher or parent does something differently, the child, him or herself, will adapt to the parent or to the teacher.
Identify a specific weakness in executive functioning, try to address that by breaking it down and teaching the child specific organizational strategies. Using visual checklists are usually very beneficial for the children, and see if that works. If you can break tasks down, identify where the process is falling down. Is it an initiation? Is it that your child or adolescent or young adult has difficulty starting a task? Very frequently I see that because individuals just get so overwhelmed with so much coming in at one time, they need help with how to start.
What I found really worked is a lot of times when I would shut down, I have experienced that it's because I was overwhelmed. Whether it was because I got behind and I had a lot of work to catch up on, or the thing I was trying to do was a complicated thing and the instructions, say, were half a page. I didn't know what to start with. I got overwhelmed and I just, panicked and shut down. And for me, what I found helped is if somebody would break it down. By breaking down something that is overwhelming, it's not overwhelming anymore. At least that's what I found.
It's very important to understand how your child learns. My son, for example, is very visual, and so the way that he used to be able to focus better on what needs to get done is that he used to lay it all out on the kitchen table. Now, he couldn't get it all done in one fell swoop, so we would say, okay, work on this, and then after that he really liked taking really active breaks. Then he could come back and work on the next thing, and it really used to annoy him to have all that stuff on the table. So he liked getting it done and putting it away. Then he'd get the next thing done and put that away. So his goal was to have the table clear.
That the child buys into and is part of your organizational intervention. So what works for you may not work for your child. So I know this sounds simplistic, but it's not done very often. Ask your child, does this work for you? There's not a kind of one size fits all when you're coming up with interventions for executive functioning weakness. So I think that's very important, especially when you hit adolescence. They really need to buy into it, and if they say to you, the way to remember where my notebook is, it's stick it next to the cereal box in the morning, put their notebook next to the cereal box in the morning. I'm okay with that. Whatever works and whatever's going to help the child.
A real critical factor is acceptance of the child as the child is, acceptance of the teenager as the teenager is, acceptance of adults as they are. And if you accept that and you don't make the person wrong, there's only one thing left to do. Change the world around. The ADHD brain is highly attuned to the physical world. And if you've heard all of the recommendations discussed tonight, they didn't involve focusing on the child and changing the child. They involved changing what the child does or changing the things that happen around the child. Everything that Michael has described, for example, is his acting on the world around him, not trying to fix himself.
He said, first of all, I need to know that I can do this. And having done it, if we've developed these habits over a long period of time, that's what they are now. They are habits. And I believe that I can do it because I did it. I did it. And the environment that the child is in needs to be accepting and supportive, and and self-esteem can get that child to be really, really successful, because first they have to believe that they can do it.
And whether you share the actual title of the diagnosis or not, the demystification process for kids is one of the most important things. And to simply say to a child, these are the things that you struggle with, and there's a name for it, and there's a reason for it. It's not you being broken or you being a problem. It's simply the way that you are and the way that you're wired. Makes a huge difference for kids. You'll see them physically relax. And one of the first things we hear as students begin to go through that process of demystification is that there are others just like me who have these same kinds of issues, and we all struggle in the same way, and there's a reason for it. Makes a difference in the trajectory that they follow.